How's it going, everyone? It's Mooner, and I'm here with Snake Peter, aka Co Kamish. How's it going, Kamish?
I'm good, Minner. How are you?
Not bad. Please excuse the Discord notification sounds. We both don't know how to turn it off, so you guys are gonna have to deal with it. But in this video, we're just gonna kind of go through each division and see what teams are on the brink of making playoffs. Um, yeah, and kind of go through things. So we're in the last week of the regular season. Uh, as of right now, the standings are updated up until the end of week 3. So there will be games played tonight. Unfortunately, we won't be able to include that, but this video will be out Tuesday probably, so those Monday night games won't be included. But oh well. Jumping into it. Looking at the elite division, obviously near the top, you got Kuda and Enough kind of dominating, and then we got a bunch of teams that have been pretty steadily above 500. Vipers Simplified, Acknowledge Me, Toxic Legends have been grinding recently, and then it gets to the Toxic Legends where they're 53.33% or point percent, and then it's Drywall Ducks with 50, Pink Cheeseburgers with 46.15, and Lights Out with 43.3. We also have the Mutts at 30, but I think they're a little bit too far out of the race. Um, so looking at those top 9 teams, Pete, who do you think is the odd team out?
Uh, from I don't know the rosters that well, but I think the most odd one out is gonna be Pink Cheeseburgers. I feel like in this final week, everybody's gonna make a push for that top eight. Like the lights out and the Mutts might actually cause some problems, even though they're not in a playoff spot. But I feel like the Pink Cheeseburgers or the Drywall Ducks um, may be on the brink of staying in the playoffs or even falling out of the playoffs.
Yeah, looking at their schedules here, Pink Cheeseburgers actually play Toxic Legends and Drywall Ducks, and then Lights Out plays Kuda in Shambles and Albany Biscuits. So I would say Pink Cheeseburgers probably have the advantage in terms of strength of schedule, playing two teams really close to them in the standings with Toxic and Drywall. But Lights Out versus Kuda might be an issue for them. Kuda's only lost one game, and it was in overtime, so you could almost guarantee that Kuda will beat them twice. But you never know. Lights Out have been, um, they had a slow start, but they've actually been doing pretty good lately. So it'd be cool to see them make it. Especially they were actually supposed to be in the Rammer division, but they got moved up last minute. So
Yeah, they are a pretty good team overall. I'm just looking at the roster right now, and I know some guys from the past. She Love DJ, he's been here for a while. Bengal, Crazy Flame, Griff Dog, they've all been here for a while. They're very solid players. They play with a good group of guys too in the LG community, and they can maybe put up a fight with Kuda, but it's going to be a pretty tough fight, I'd say.
yeah, it might be tough for them. Lights Out actually has a bunch of guys that were on Lake Erie, and they won the Sweat and Core back to back. So I don't think an elite division title is in the cards this season, but it's a good start for them. First season in elite, and it'd be nice to see them make the playoffs at least.
So, we already ran down all the teams, who we thought's going to make it, whatever. I think with these matchups, if the playoffs were to start today, um, the final will is going to be Kuda, and I think the other team will be. I'm gonna say Acknowledge Me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say Acknowledge Me. I they're a pretty solid team. Acknowledge Me. Um, they have the depth to make a long run. Vipers is gonna be a pretty tough matchup in the first round, but I do think it will go 3 games, and I think it will go down to a OT goal to move on for either team. But
interesting. Yeah, Acknowledge Me obviously made the finals last season, so can't count them out.
yeah,
I
no,
do.
they upset they upset Dynamic. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I do think Enough and Kuda are definitely the best teams in the division. It'd be tough to bet against them. I think Kuda is a good possibility of winning the cup. Just with
Yeah.
the games they played, they've swept every team except one, so that's pretty impressive, especially in the top division. So Simplified's not a bad squad. I don't know if they can make a run though. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't know if enough because I think Simplified might be able to they might be able to upset enough, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and then Toxic Drywall Cheeseburgers lights out. I don't think they can go all the way. They could maybe win a series, but I mean the top two teams are almost unbeatable, so it'd be pretty tough for them
Oh,
to
and
do
that's totally my bad. That's my bad. I can't pick acknowledge me. That's totally on my fault.
that. You can't acknowledge them.
No, no, I can't because if they're on the same side, it's obviously gonna have to be Kuda versus acknowledge me, and I think Kuda's gonna win that easy.
Oh, yeah. No, I think
So
I think Enough versus Acknowledge Me would be a better series than Kuda versus Acknowledge Me. Obviously, just because Kuda's better, but um, Enough
yeah,
versus Acknowledge Me in the semis. I don't know if that's possible with the seating they are right now, but
yeah, but you never know. That might change this final week.
yeah. All right, I'm locking in Kuda. You
Yep, I'll lock in
got
Kuda
Kuda
too.
again, yeah. Moving on to Rammer, we got two powerhouses at the top with Saint Lafleur and Mission. Mission actually lost their first two games last week against at the what at the time was the lowest team in the division, Aquila HC. They lost in 3 games. Um, but those two pretty much have a stranglehold on the division. I'd almost well, I'm not gonna guarantee, but good chance those two teams play each other in the finals. And we got Havoc, Hysteria, Manbear Pigs have been in a slump recently, 2-7-1 in the last 10. Then we got Mystery America at 50% along with Manbear Pigs, and we got Chasing Tail just below them, past their prime, Ivory. And then honestly, all the teams in this division are still in the playoff race. Um, 4 of them obviously aren't going to make it. Pete, who do you think are the last two teams that make this division's playoffs?
So from what I'm looking at right now, past our prime, I thought they were a pretty, solid team. They were supposed to actually be in the elite division, um, but they decided to go down to Rammer, and I thought, to be honest, they were gonna be one or two. Saint Lafleur and Mission, they obviously, like you said, they're gonna take one or two. But from there, I feel like this could be a toss-up. Hysteria might actually jump 3 to 3, which isn't a big jump. Mystery America, they might jump up a few spots, but the last two spots, I think, will be um, maybe Ivory makes a jump up to 8, and Past Our Prime jumps up to 7, and Chasing Tails follows the playoff spot.
Interesting. Yeah, I would expect Pastor Prime's going to make the playoffs with the players they have on their roster, the couple Storm players, the Elite Cup champs. Ivory has been slow recently too. I see 4-5-1 in the last 10. They could definitely make the playoffs. Aquila, like I said met earlier, they beat Mission, so don't count those guys out either. But yeah, definitely the most interesting division so far. A lot of teams are really, really tight. So honestly, any team could still make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I know Hysteria, a few seasons ago, they were the 16 seed, and they, upset everybody and won the whole thing. So
Yeah,
they
little
might be they might be a shout to take in our
sandbaggers.
in our ITHL bracket.
Yeah, we also got Nation of Misfits who were the core champs last season. They're in 12th right now, but like I said, they could still make a playoff push here in the last week. Um,
Yeah, it seems like this division's, actually pretty equal other than the outliers at the top. This is a pretty good division, pretty equal.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the playoffs start how many upsets there are, because they're all so tight.
Playoffs end today. I'm a pick Hysteria.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of leaning towards them too. Um, they actually should be 9-2, I believe, but they had to forfeit a couple games because they used an illegal player. Um,
Hysteria. They have Carbine, Hot Logger, Dan, Minnow, Pasta. Yeah, they have a pretty solid team.
I think their team is really similar to what they had in season 10 when they won. Like they must be playing with each other for a while, so the chemistry's there.
Y-
Um,
There also might be Havoc. Havoc's an Xbox team, so we never know. Like I haven't heard of any of these guys, but they are third in a PS5 league, and they might come out of the water and show what they can bring.
yeah, for sure. Like we said earlier, this is in my opinion the tightest division. Even like I could see past our prime if they finish in eighth. I could see them upsetting the number one seed, but um, I think maybe a mission versus Hysteria final if it's possible. I
Mission
think
versus
mission's gonna win
Well,
though.
yeah, I could see that. And also, if you look at goals against, man, Hysteria is third in least goals against.
True, yeah.
So after Hysteria, it drops down to 49, 50, 50 plus. So
They can keep it out of their net. They don't have that many goals though, 43 compared to
no, this should be a
60s all
close
above
game.
them.
It's gonna be a fun playoffs for Rammer, but I'm gonna lock in Hysteria upset over Mission.
Moving on to Heritage, the most important
Oh,
division in the ITHL. Here we got Doodle and Goats near the top, with Doodle being number one as of now. We got Blue Line Snipers and Colon right behind them. And then Seasickness is number 5, Niagara's number 6, and then kind of near where the Niagara is right now, 6 to 11, still have a shot
yeah,
at playoffs.
yeah,
Twine plays Niagara in the boats, so the boats matchup's huge. Whoever wins that series still has a chance. If whoever loses is pretty much done. And then we got the boats playing Seasickness as well as Twine, so another big series there. Sayville plays Blue Line and Trash Pandas, and they're at ninth right now, so that's a pretty tough schedule. I know they could probably beat the Pandas. Blue Line could probably beat them as well, but Blue Line, I would say, a top 3 team in the division right now. And then Trash Pandas are playing Colon and Sayville, so those are another 2 tough matchups. The Sayville versus Pandas series is massive. Um,
yeah. It's like the boats and Twine.
yeah,
Um,
pretty much playoff series right there. Misfits, who they play? Misfits play Flamingos and Doodle, so I would say they're probably gonna sweep Flamingos, and then Doodle might be tough to beat. So, and then Niagara plays Twine and Flamingos. So, like again, they probably beat Flamingos. Twine and Niagara is a big series as well. So, six to
yeah, no,
11, lots of movement. Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
yeah, no, sorry about that. I was just gonna say it's gonna come down to the wire. I think like even 1 through 4 that can change. Even though, like you said, the series they might have one like weaker team, but they also have one harder team, and that one harder team, they might upset. Um, Personally, I saw the Goats versus Colon Cannonballs this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Goats,
Uh,
Colon, yep.
and that's going to be a pretty big matchup. That could also be a potential finals matchup. Both teams have a pretty stacked lineup. Um, from the previous seasons, I know Colon Cannonballs they can keep put up a fight against any team, no matter who it's against. And I know the Goats they have a pretty stacked 6-man lineup. Um, as we've already played them this season. Blue Line we had a pretty tough time with them. We took them to OT in both our losses, and we took one from them in regulation. But like you said, I don't know. Six 6 through 11 is going to be a toss up. Misfits actually upset us, so they might actually make a push. Um, but if I gotta say the final two, I think it's gonna be Misfits, or I think it's Niagara's actually gonna drop to 7. Misfits gonna go up to 6, and the final spot is gonna be Sayville at 8.
Yeah, like I said, Sayville's got a tough matchup though. They play Blue Line and they play the Pandas, so you think they're gonna take more than 50% of those
I
games?
think I think they can I think they can do a 3-game series against each team. Um, it's gonna be a lot tougher, I think, against Blue Line. Blue Line has a very stacked, not they have a pretty good lineup, I'd
They have
say.
really good chemistry, I guess, because they
Yeah,
always play with each other. So
yeah, they play nonstop, so they know what they want to do and they know how to play with each other. But I think Trash Pandas depends who they put out. I think they put up a pretty good fight against us. We actually were getting, you know, uh, pretty scared in the last few seconds of the game. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a good series, Rocket City and Sayville, but we'll just have to wait and see.
yeah, I think Misfits are probably gonna make the playoffs. I think Rocket City drops out of the top 8, and I honestly think Twine could make a push all the way up to 8, but honestly, it's just a toss up. Any team from 6 to 11 could be in the last two playoff spots.
It's gonna be a fun week for like all PS5 and PS4
Yeah.
teams. So I guess we just gotta wait and see.
I personally think the Goats are gonna take it home, but Blue Line's been due for a while. They've been close for a lot of seasons in a row now. I just don't know if they can get over that hump.
I don't know. They might be able to. Blue Line, like I said, they're pretty deep lineup. They've all played with each other before, and well, they always play with each other. Um, but Doodle's up there. They might surprise some people. They are a very solid team though with Nut, the Chuck. But if the playoffs were to start today, Poland versus Seasickness, that might be a game 3 series. Um, it might go either way, to be honest. Um, with the teams, I think they're pretty decently filled out. It just depends on availability, to be honest. But I think I'm gonna lock in Goats
Boats?
versus I know
Do you say boats?
Goats.
Ah,
Sorry, Mooner. Sorry, I might have just destroyed your hopes there, but I said Goats and Colon Cannonballs for the finals, and I'm gonna go Goats for the win.
it's a good prediction. Yeah, I think the top 4 teams.
They all
Sorry.
have a chance to win it.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
a toss up.
Seasickness will. I know they're a solid team, but
When it comes down to playing the top 4, we might have a bit of trouble. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
think you could make the semis and take it to like game 5 or deep, but
Hey, you gotta remember it's EA. You never know what'll happen.
yeah, that's true. This one's really tough. I think just any of the top 4 teams are gonna win. My number one pick would probably be Goats. I go Goats Blue Line final. I always bet on Doodle to win, but they never do. So I'm gonna take a break
Sorry, Nut.
this
We
season.
had to say it if you're watching.
All right, we'll do a quick rundown of the old gen standings. Looking at the Sweat division first, we got Acknowledge Me and Les Senators in the top 2, by a decent cushion. I'm surprised Les Sens aren't in first, but I'm not sure who they lost to. I don't know if you do, but
No, I'm not quite sure. I think my one might have been Dub Club, but I
no
might be
Dub Club.
totally wrong.
Yeah, and then we got Unleashed Hellhounds and Saint Lafleur in third and fourth. Saint Lafleur is a good team. I don't know if they've been playing worse lineups or something? Because 11-7-1 compared to I think they're
last
12 and
season's.
0 in Rammer.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I don't know, because last year they finished sixth, so it's
maybe
pretty
they're just
even.
sandbagging a bit, just waiting for playoffs to start, and then they'll start trying.
Never know.
But yeah, then we got Saskatchewan Sam Squanches, CC Destroyers, and Contenders are both at 50% point percentage. And
And Harbor.
then, oh, sorry, Harbor and Contender. Oh, three. Harbor, CC Destroyers, and Contenders. And then Dub Club just on the outside right now with 43.75, not too far out. Let's look at the schedule here.
I think we gotta pull up the schedule on this one. This one's gonna be a tough. This is gonna be a good final week for Sweat.
So, actually, acknowledge me, Lay Sens play, so that'll be pretty much a battle for first.
Yep.
And then we got CC Destroyers and wow, CC plays Harbor and Contenders, so both the other teams that are at 50% right now. Harbor plays CC Destroyers and Sask, and then Contenders plays St. Lafleur and CC Destroyers. So Contenders probably have the hardest matchups out of those three teams at between 6 and 8. Yeah, Dub Club plays Unleashed Hellhounds and St. Lafleur, so that's pretty tough. And then Doodle's actually in 10th, which is surprising.
Yeah. I
Um,
didn't think they'd be that low, but
they play Acknowledge Me and Unleashed Hellhounds, so it might be Dunzos for Doodle this season, unless they can
but
pull something off.
you never know. You never know. Dub Club might make the push.
Dub Club's
Like
got to
this,
win.
I think this is the most even division we got in all of our whole season 13.
Yeah, even more even than Rammer.
To be honest, I think yeah, Sweat's the most even.
Yeah, I think like the top two are obviously the top two, and then 3 to 10 isn't very big of a. But yeah, definitely. There's only 10 teams, so yeah,
They've been all good matchups
yeah,
each week. Like they're all competing for a spot, and they all have the skill and ability to win the whole thing. So
definitely interesting. Who do you think is gonna miss the playoffs? I'd say
see,
Doodle, but
I'm gonna say Doodle as well. You know, I like I said, they might make a push, but I don't know if it'll be enough. But I think Dub Club's gonna jump up. I'm not gonna say where because I don't know, and I think CC's gonna fall out. I know they've been here and they always have made a playoff spot, but with their matchups against the contenders and the Harbor Maniacs, it might be a close. It might be a tough week for the CC Destroyers.
yeah, I would say Doodle probably misses out, and probably
Harbor
Dub
maybe.
Club as well, just with the
Hmm.
tough matchups they have. I know they're a good team, so they might dig deep and find a way to win those. But
Hmm.
if it's not Dub Club, I think it's probably I don't know, probably Harbor to be honest.
Fair enough.
But we'll see. My final pick's gonna be Lay Sens again, the three-peat, first time in league history.
Acknowledge me, Saint Lafleur. Sends. Acknowledge me. I'm gonna
Acknowledge
have to
me.
break up the repeat with acknowledge me.
All right, and finally we got the core division, the shit show division. Might have to rename it to that. But uh, the Keelers are currently in first place with 12-2, and then Goat Lords are behind them. Portland Phantoms. We got the good old Blue Dragons in fourth. Young Guns in fifth, and then 6, 7, 8 are pretty tight with Puck in Your Bench, SEAL Team Rick, and Hillside. And then we got Louisiana and Sad Seals are kind of already out of it. I know Louisiana joined late, so they had a
That was unfortunate for them.
big hole to climb out of. Yeah. Um, do you think Louisiana or Sad Seals can somehow get out of that 9-10 spot? Sad Seals
They got
play Phantom
they
and
got
Goat
Hills.
Lords, and Louisiana plays Hillside and Phantoms. So
Yeah, no, I don't. I think the core division's already set. I just think there might be a few switches between position like rankings. Blue Dragons might jump up to second or third. Goat Lords might fall down a bit. Same goes for Young Guns. They might fall or they might jump. I think this division's already set with the playoff teams. I just don't know where they're gonna finish overall.
Yeah, I think Blue Dragons might jump up a spot. They play Puck in Your Bench and Young Guns. I think this is the season for the Blue Dragons. I think they're gonna win it all.
Ooh,
The
that's a
Keelers are a good
great
team though,
pick.
so same with the Goat Lords actually. But I think the top three teams are Blue Dragons, Goat Lords, Keelers.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I'd have to either go, yeah, like you said, Blue Dragons or Keelers. I think will win it. But I'm gonna say Hillside may make the uh may make the top tier teams have trouble in the first two rounds if they can, bypass either Keelers or Goat Lords.
Yeah, they could make a run.
Yeah, I think they can make a run.
Well, they have 17 games played, most in the division, so a lot of game threes. Probably a
Yep.
lot of losses in game three, so taking teams a distance but can't quite finish it off. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Hillside Keelers in the first round would be a good matchup. Couple of
That
returning
will be
teams
a
from
very good
last season.
matchup. If it's what it looks like right now for the playoffs, I'm gonna have to go Blue Dragons versus I don't know, man. I'm lost on this one. I'm lost. I no, actually I'm gonna go Blue Dragons versus Goat Lords.
I think Blue Dragons make the finals. I'm not sure if they win. I would say Keelers versus Blue Dragons. I'll give Blue
You
Dragons the
think Keelers
title.
versus Blue Dragons?
What's that?
You think Keelers versus Blue Dragons in the final?
Yeah, I'd say Blue Dragons win, but I'm not very confident in that.
You know, I feel like any of the top five teams can win this division.
Yeah. All right, well that does it. Good luck to all teams involved. It'll be really interesting to see how it all shapes out. If you guys want to watch any of the games, most of the stream links get posted in the Discord. Lots of playoff-like series being played this week, so should be fun. And we'll see you guys later.